Camtasia is a very powerful product to create graphic visualizations, right, for presentations, documentation, as well as video production, which is really where it shines. So I'm going to give you just a brief overview of Camtasia, enough to get you started. Point in case, my 14-year-old picked it up. I gave him a version of Camtasia. He started using it, and within 30 minutes, he had found things out that I'd been using it for years, didn't know. So it's a very simple program to get started. So stay tuned. We'll get right into it. So when you open up Camtasia and you choose to create a new Camtasia file, you're going to come up with this screen here. Now, there's a few things that I'm just going to bring out in this video, and then look at other videos for additional details around Camtasia. First of all, voice. So when you record a screen, which I'm doing right now, this is a screen recording. I'm actually using what they call the Camtasia recorder, and you can see that right here on the screen. This is telling us how long we've been recording, and you can see my voice moving up and down. This is capturing everything in the screen, and you can't see it, but there's green flashing markers that indicate the size of the screen. Now, personally, I use Adobe Audition to do my voice capture because I use some other tools within Audition, like noise reduction, for example, that I use just as a standard. It's just the way I do it, right? And I import that file right into this this area. Now, what we can use the recording, and it does record it right here. This file is recording, so we can use the recording based on Camtasia as well. And you can use this feature here, audio features, to compress the data and remove noise and do fade in and fade out. So that's kind of neat. Library, media is where all of your media goes. Now this happens to be a video recording, a screen recording that I did. You can see my voice there. If I hit separate audio and video, do you see the audio and the video, right? I can mute things by hiding them. Okay, so that's kind of neat. And then I can just go through this, and you can see, I'm not going to play it because you'll just hear it. See?
Wonderful tool.
But you can see this is the screen that we're looking at, really. So we could erase the audio altogether if we wanted to, and just do this, add the other audio, or keep the audio, whatever works for you. Okay, so that's kind of how you do that. And then you can remove that right off of the screen, and I can take and remove that out of my bin. I usually use a library, have multiple libraries, and I suggest that you use multiple libraries. And I do this just because it has things that I use on a regular basis. So for example, we're going to pull up AU Start. AU Start is a group. As you can see, there's 3 items in it. And let's watch it run here. And it just kind of comes in, and then it goes back out again. Now I use this just as a pre-canned animation, right? I use it in every video that I do, because there is a strength in having a consistency or a brand that you use when using or developing any type of material, marketing material, presentations, or of course video material. So libraries are absolutely supported, and I use them a lot. Here I have, for example, this is an Adobe library. This is all of the graphics that I've captured over time, and I add to it from my Adobe subscription. So I have lots of graphics in there, and then I have others as well. YouTube, my animation. These are drawings that I've made over the course of time, and I use them in different presentations. The key here is I don't want to have to recreate everything every single time. So here I'm just doing the animation. Now I happen to be doing this using Sketchbook Pro. I'm delivering it out, and I'm using part of it in Camtasia. But once it's done, now I have this tire here that I can use, and tire and wheel that I can use in any animation that I want. Now notice the screen is black. Of course, I can go to project settings and reset the screen, okay, to any color that I like. Okay, we're just going to use white in this example. And now I can move this object around, and I can resize it and do whatever I need to do. Resizing is a great strength, especially if I had text with this. So let's say that I have some text here, and I want to make that text black, for example, here, and I've got it all together. I can group these things together, or I can do this and do resizing individually, or I can group it, and now when resizing occurs, it resizes it together. So that's really a nice feature that you can use as well. And I can speed up this animation. So I can go in here and I can add the animation to add a timeline to the animation, and then I can speed up the delivery of the animation as well. So there's lots of things that you can do there. And I don't want to get too caught up on one area. Here I can do transitions, meaning that it's going to transition when the graphics start. It's going to fade in, which is a little harder to see here because we're not really using it, because it's already drawing, right? We can do one side, we can do both sides, we can do that side, right? We can also do behaviors, which works really well for text, for example. You can use text and fly things in and fly things out. So that's nice. And then animations itself, you can focus on certain areas. So if I wanted to, for example, I want to hone in just on the tire, I can just do this and move this around. And then when it gets done, I can have it go back to actual size. So if I want to do an emphasis on something, I can pull it open, draw it out just like that, and then I can bring it back in. So that's kind of neat. You have audio effects where you can add noise canceling. I already spoke about that. You can add interactivity and captions. The one last thing I'm going to talk about is adding markers. And this marker here, if you're publishing out to YouTube, notice it's right there. I can add these little markers so when people are viewing the YouTube video, they can skip to chapters. Also, when it publishes, it'll publish it as a chapter. Now, how do you publish? So that's, you can play, this is your play box. You can add different things right on top of other things, right? So you can just say, okay, I like that. And now I want to add this timer right on top of there. So I'm going to add it there. And oh, it's in white. So, you know, how am I going to fix that? I can add something else. Let's do a blue one here. We'll just pop that down and take that guy off. So it's literally that simple. And these are pre-canned animations. So you can see here that the timer's going off. It'll go off in just a second here, and it's going to count down for me. So again, just an animation that I've put onto the screen that makes everything work. If I want the timer to be underneath, then I can put it underneath it, and now it appears underneath the image, or I can put it on top of the image. Pretty simple. So that's a basic overview. To export this file, you can go here and go to export. Now, you can also export it as a MP3 file, which we'll go over in another video. You can also export here, right here, to local file, or publish directly to YouTube, or your MP3 file is under there under custom production. So that's about it for a basic overview of what Camtasia can do for you. Play with it. I think you're going to find that it's actually pretty simple.